So you've heard about these crazy diets and the effect they can have. Welcome back to Tush Trains, and in today's episode I'm going to go over what is the ketogenic diet. So without further ado, let's get straight in. So what is the ketogenic diet, or the keto diet? So the keto diet is essentially low carb, high fat and moderate protein. The macros for this are usually 70 to 75% fat, 20 to 25% protein, 5 to 10% carbs. So meaning you would have under 50 grams of carb every single day. Now, the goal of this diet is to switch your body from using glucose to using ketones instead. Now, one thing to note for this diet, it was actually developed for the use of epilepsy treatment. So you want to know essentially what foods to eat and what foods not to eat. So I will literally tell you here what the foods to include are. For healthy fats, you would need avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, ghee and butter. Now, I use butter all the time. I use olive oil all the time. Coconut oil maybe not so much because I'm a bit intolerant to it. For the proteins, you would have egg, poultry, grass-fed beef and fatty fish such as salmon or sardines. Now, I eat all of these. For low carb veggies, you would probably have spinach, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini and asparagus. For nuts and seed, if you're going to have them, then have them in moderation. For nuts and seeds, you could probably have almonds, walnuts, chia, flax, pumpkin seeds. For dairy, if you can tolerate it, if you're not lactose intolerant, then you would have cheese, cream and full fat yogurt. There are some other things that you can have such as olives, avocados, and my most favorite is bone broth, because bone broth is just sensational. Albeit it doesn't actually taste the best, but in terms of nutrition and in terms of quality for your body, bone broth is the best. As such, with any diet, there are foods to avoid. For the grains and starches, it would be bread, rice, pasta, oats, potatoes and corn. For the sugars, it would be desserts, sodas, juices and candies. I don't eat any of that junk because I just do not like it. It really messes up my system. For high carb fruits, you would probably have bananas, apples, grapes, mangoes. You can have berries in small amounts if you want to, but for this diet, it's not really recommended. For legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas and peanuts. Now, obviously, with any good diet, it tells you to eliminate processed food and refined oil. Processed food is anything that's literally processed and has additives in them, and all of those crazy things like, I don't know, vegetable oil, canola oil, rapeseed oil, all of those. Don't use it. Don't use it. Don't use sunflower oil. Don't use any of that. Just use what God gave you. And he gave you olives from a tree, so use the olives, and use the butter from cows. Now, I want to go over how your body actually changes during keto. There was a period that I went on keto and I felt incredible, but at the same time, it can have its bad effects. So essentially what happens is your glucose drops and your insulin gets lower. Your liver produces ketones, thereby fat becomes the main fuel source. Instead of using glucose, it will go to ketones. So you can get rapid water and electrolyte loss, and this is basically called keto flu. It's characterized by fatigue, brain fog and cramps. Now, in the short term, there are really good benefits such as weight loss, including fat and water, and there would be stable blood sugar too. There are some long-term things that you do need to consider. This may be positive and this may be negative depending on how your body tolerates it and handles it. There is a shift in hormones, a shift in digestion, and a shift in your gut microbiome. There are potential benefits. Like every diet, there's probably going to be potential benefits such as fast weight loss, especially in the early stages. Reduced appetite and cravings is another one. You can get stable energy, so you'll have no sugar crashes. You can have improved insulin sensitivity, so this would be more blood sugar control, and you may notice improvements in mental clarity. And also, if you do have epilepsy and metabolic issues, you may find some safety there. So just to outline the potential problems, this is actually quite difficult to sustain in the long run. In addition to this, there are nutrient deficiencies such as fiber, vitamins and minerals that you may need. Your gut health can actually suffer. This can be due to the low prebiotic fiber. You can also have hormone disruption, and this especially happens in women, so you do need to be careful if you are a woman. And it's socially restrictive. So if you're going out and you like to have pasta pasta with wine and stuff like that, it's obviously not going to work out very well. Now, since I am here, I will recommend you some good diets. The first diet being the Mediterranean diet. So the Mediterranean diet is balanced, nutrient rich, and anti-inflammatory. It's also good for heart health and longevity, and the most important, it's sustainable long term. Another one would be the AIP, or the autoimmune protocol. This is a very healing diet, and it identifies your food triggers. It also removes those common triggers, and it's used for chronic inflammation, autoimmune disorders, and gut healing. Now, just to finish this off, there are some key takeaways that I do want you to know. Keto is a powerful short-term tool. I used to use it back in the day for a bit, but it's not sustainable long term, and it can be quite damaging to your health. And if you do have some food triggers, or you have allergies or anything like that, the AIP would be good for identifying those food triggers and tailoring your diet as such. And the number one thing you need to think about in regard to diets, it's best to choose a diet that supports your health, longevity, and lifestyle. Anyway, thanks for coming to my talk, and I'll see you on the next one.